We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Join the Swain event at Dead End Barbecue on Wednesday, February 5th to celebrate the Vault's victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during this special edition of the Swain event live from Dead End Barbecue. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2020 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain event and Dead End Barbecue.
Deep down the middle's got his man and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a red belt.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. February the 5th, we'll be live at Dead End Barbecue for National Signing Day. Live show from 7 to 10 a.m. We'll have a free barbecue breakfast there for you. We will break down this class again with better information than even previously. It'll be a great turnout. Be nice to see everyone. Tennessee football season ended a couple days ago. This will be the first time that Vol Nation can come together, fellowship, hang out since the bowl game. So make plans to be there. Always appreciate everyone making time to come out and support us. We will appreciate that same support on February the 5th there at Dead End Barbecue. Again, live show from 7 to 10 a.m. And for the last couple of years, we've hung out there, and we've been there to 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So please come out, and love to meet everyone. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. The Swain event, again, is fueled by Dead End Barbecue. You think Charlie Burris is happy this morning?
Yes, because the Swain event is going to spend 3 hours breaking down who the Preds should hire next after firing Peter Laviolette yesterday. I just hope it. I am very happy because I wanted this to happen. I appreciate everything that Lavi did for the Preds. Took them to the Stanley Cup Finals, almost won a championship. I mean, he was tremendous for the Preds. But the last 2 years, ever since the playoff run, the Preds have underperformed and have played uninspiring hockey, and it has not been fun to watch like it was that year that they went to the Stanley Cup final. So I am glad that this happened. I was hoping that it would happen after last season, but I guess better late than never. So I just hope that they hire somebody who I can properly pronounce their last name, which, considering it's hockey, I doubt that will happen, but I can hope.
So you're happy, Charlie Burris is happy, so we're good to go.
Yes, I am very happy about it. I'm just not as demonstrative on Twitter about it as Charlie is.
Charlie's tweets are boring now, man. He's all happy and stuff. The Titans won there in Foxborough, and the Predators got rid of their coach, who's been underachieving as of late.
It's almost as if Charlie is an energy vampire. Like
man.
he only thrives on negative energy.
I prefer Charlie on Twitter that wants to fire everybody.
Well, I have a feeling that may happen on Saturday night when the Titans are playing the Ravens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll totally forget about the great win this past weekend. He'll want to fire Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's happening.
He'll want the Titans to bench Tannehill in the middle of the game for Mariota.
Oh, yeah. That's happening. Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Cannot
wait. Tua is going to the NFL. He made his decision yesterday during his press conference. I think that's the best decision for him.
Yes.
When you look at kind of where he sits among quarterbacks, he's second to Joe Burrow. You look at Tom Shea, you look at Mel Kiper, you look at all the other draft positions, and Tua second. That's even with the hip injury, and he got a ton of feedback from doctors and medical professionals about kind of when he's going to be healthy, how serious the injury is or isn't, and he decided to leave. I think that's the best decision for him. He's going to be second regardless of whether he goes or stays, because he won't be drafted over Trevor Lawrence next year. There's just no way. If Trevor Lawrence decides to come out, which I imagine he would, because Clemson has the number one quarterback in the country signed this year. So he'll sit out next year, that quarterback, and then take over when Trevor Lawrence leaves next year. So this was a good decision for Tua. The SEC is cheering because really the only quarterback you have to worry about that we know can beat you in the conference is really Jake Fromm. That can just beat you. That's Jake Fromm. And if I'm Jake Fromm, I come back. I stay away from Tua.
Yeah, I'd almost want to stay away from Kirby Smart's offense though too, with the way this season went. I would throw Kyle Trask into that ring. I think Kyle Trask is very talented, and he really impressed me as the season went along this year. I think he's capable of beating you. But I agree with you. Other than that, I mean, Vanderbilt doesn't pose any threats. I mean, Kentucky will have Terry Wilson back, but he's just not dynamic with the football when it comes to throwing the football. He can beat you with his legs, but he's very one-dimensional. Missouri has a new quarterback.
Every time I hear Terry Wilson, I think about this.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry.
Every time.
And rightfully so.
Every time I think about Terry Wilson, I think about that. But he'll be back.
On Tennessee's schedule, you look at it, Oklahoma will have a 5-star quarterback at the helm, but it'll be a first-time starting quarterback. Florida does have Kyle Trask. Georgia will probably have Jake Fromm. South Carolina, I guess Ryan Helinski. He's talented, but how much does he improve from this year to the next? Now, I think Mac Jones will have a really nice season. He's no Tua, but I think Mac Jones will be a nice replacement for Tua. Alabama could do a lot worse.
Oh yeah, they're not going to fall off a cliff, but I mean you're replacing one of the best quarterbacks in SEC history, one of the most prolific quarterbacks in SEC history. So there's going to be some drop off there, but they'll still be good, and they'll get some of their speedy wide receivers to return. Now Henry Ruggs decided to leave, which thank you Henry. Appreciate you.
Jerry Jeudy has left.
Yep.
Henry Ruggs has left. Devontae Smith, I believe he announced that he is coming back.
He's coming back.
Alabama has so many players that to clear for the draft and come back for their senior year that I get them all confused. There's double digits every year.
Yeah, they may get close. Straight. They may get close to breaking Miami's record there. And I think it was 0-1 where they had 6 first-round draft picks. They may get close.
Yeah, I mean
they definitely get to 4.
I mean, it's just crazy that even next year Alabama's receiving trio starters room. I mean, it's going to be arguably the best in the country again, and that's after losing Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs, because they'll have Devontae Smith, they'll have Jalen Waddle. He'll be back for his junior season, and then they have this kid, John Mechie, who was a freshman this year, who is Jalen Waddle 2.0, but the only reason he didn't play is because he had all the other guys in front of him.
Yeah, so they'll still be good, but again, we'll see what the quarterback position does for Alabama. But if you're Tennessee, you see an opening, you see an opportunity, along with every other team in this conference. You see an opportunity whenever you have a guy like a Tua Tagovailoa move on. There's an opening. Don't know if you're going to take advantage of it, but there's certainly an opening. And if you're going to beat in Alabama, if you're going to take that next step, number one for Tennessee, you got to have improved quarterback play, more consistent quarterback play. Number two, the biggest recruit that Jeremy Pruitt is focused on, the biggest recruit for Tennessee is Ben McKee.
Trey Smith.
That is the biggest recruit. That is the 6-star recruit that's on your roster.
Yes.
He is the biggest recruit. What is Trey Smith going to do? Now, Jeremy Pruitt was in Jackson, Tennessee. Last time I checked, Trey Smith is from Jackson, Tennessee. I can only imagine that there was a conversation face-to-face with Pruitt and Trey Smith's family about his decision on whether to leave or to stay. So, after we take our first break of the day, what's the advantages of Trey Smith staying? What's the advantages of Trey Smith leaving? Let's have a conversation about it. Let's discuss it, Ben. Trey Smith is the most important recruit for Tennessee right now. You get him back with Brandon Kennedy, Wanye Morris, Darnell Wright.
Calvert, Carvin.
The same offensive line of this year.
That improved game to game.
Bigger, stronger, faster, working together more chemistry. And we're talking about an offense that has a chance to be really, really good. Maybe not as successful passing the football because of Jawan Jennings' success, but probably more balanced.
Could be one of the better rushing offenses in the SEC.
Absolutely. We will take our first break of the day here in the Swain event. Hour one is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. 8:50 a.m., 100.9 FM, WKVL Sports Radio. Be right back.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man?
The most important player for Tennessee right now is Trey Smith. You are 100% losing Nigel Warrior. You are 100% losing Juwan Jennings, Daniel Patulli, Darrell Taylor. There's no gray area with seniors. You're done. Now, Brandon Kennedy has already been granted his 6th year. He's coming back. But there's a chance that you can get Trey Smith back. There's a chance. So, if you're Jeremy Pruitt, that's where you spend your time. And that's what Jeremy Pruitt, that's what he did. He spent his time with Trey Smith in Jackson, Tennessee. The obvious advantages for Trey to leave is the money. To live out probably a lifelong dream of playing in the NFL. I don't know the draft grade that he got, or if he even received it. I don't know that. But I think I saw where he was 5th, 6th, 7th guard, something like that.
I want to say Cole Kublik said that if he passed a physical and everything on the medical side checked off, he was going to receive a first-round grade.
I don't know where I saw it, where they had Trey Smith at a certain ranking at guard, and I kind of balked at it. I was like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. I have to go and look at it. But, I mean, I believe Cole Kublik. WalterFootball.com has Trey Smith as the 4th guard behind Shane Lemieux at Oregon, Dante Brown, Alabama, and Solomon Kinley at Georgia. But, you know, the medical stuff probably has something to do with it. And like Cole said, if Trey passes that physical and there's no question marks there, I don't see anyone, let alone 3 guards better than Trey Smith in the country.
No.
But I don't watch Oregon football, so take that with a grain of salt. But if you're looking at this as a fan, you can never really fault a young man for going and pursuing his dreams of playing in the National Football League. Having a chance to make that your career and change your family tree forever. Your kids, your kids' kids, your kids' kids' kids. You can do that with that opportunity in the NFL. But let's think about what had to happen for Tennessee this year for Trey Smith to play. They talked about it in the bowl game. And when you watch Tennessee play on television, they bring it up, along with, you know, Jared's father playing at Rutgers and being in the Hall of Fame there. They give us the same promotion.
And towards the end of the season, it was always they have to show the play from Alabama.
I mean, it's the same B-roll, same promo.
Have to talk about how Juwan was kicked off the team, had to fight his way back, and Jeremy Pruitt gave him a long list of things to do, and he's done everything they asked him to.
Yeah, yeah. And then Trey Smith's story is third. But in the Indiana game, Trey Smith's story was first. And so they talked about Trey Smith not doing contact in practice. I think besides, 2 times?
2 full contact practices since the day one of fall camp. Unheard of.
For Trey Smith to only have 2 full contact practices all season long and to play like he played, that's remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is the NFL is not going to make those accommodations for you. No. Not as a rookie.
Nope, because and I want to say the color commentator mentioned this during the broadcast. Tim Hasselbeck mentioned this during the broadcast, is that the fall camp for the NFL, the preseason for the NFL, is so key to developing offensive linemen that teams are not willing to just let you miss out on full contact practices.
Nope.
That is so key to developing as an offensive lineman in the NFL at an early stage.
Maybe as a quarterback, maybe as a wide receiver who runs a 4.2, 4.3 40, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But not as an offensive lineman. Absolutely not. So that's the hang-up. That's the hang-up. So now you say, okay, if I come back, what is the plan with my medical doctors? Can I practice more full contact? So when the scouts come to practice during fall camp, which they're always there, and they'll start coming around more and more and more because of the talent that Jeremy Pruitt has recruited and developed. So the Alontae Taylors, the Bryce Thompsons, those guys will start getting looks now because they're juniors. So we're going to have more scouts around the complex, more scouts around practice. So when the scouts hit the practice field, are they going to see number 73 participating with everyone else during live contact? And can Trey Smith do that for an entire season? If he could do that for an entire season, okay, now I see the benefits of returning. Just setting aside all the team goals. I'm pretty sure Trey Smith has team goals, and once he mentions what his plans are, and if he decides to coming back, I'm pretty sure he's going to mention team goals. He's a team guy.
Trey Smith is as team guy as it gets all season long. When he was asked about the plan during fall practice of him practicing, about kind of how he will manage the day-to-day life throughout the season during the week, during bowl prep of what his decision will be, and then even after the bowl game, when he was asked about, okay, what's your decision, it was never about himself. It was always team. I'm focused on the team, only worried about the team, only focused on getting this win.
As much as of a team guy Trey Smith is, this decision is about him, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is a time for you to be selfish. You need to be selfish. This is about you. You need to make it about yourself. If he decides to come back, he's going to make it about the team and have an opportunity to take a step further and put this program even on better ground before he leaves. But just his goals, his future, I see the advantages of returning. I do. Because there is something missing with him. The fact that he did not practice full contact all season long. That does not translate to the NFL. What he does in the games, that translates. Absolutely. But I don't know of a player entering the NFL that can't practice during the week.
Nope.
But then will play on Sundays and be able to block the NFL's best defensive pass rushers in the league. You gonna block Aaron Donald?
Good luck.
Not practicing during the week all season. You gonna block what's the defense tackle of the Eagles? Mississippi State, Cox.
Yeah.
You gonna block them boys?
Jarrell Casey.
No, you're not blocking those guys without any practice. It just doesn't work that way. So I can see Trey Smith returning. I can also see Trey Smith leaving. I can see him leaving. It's a fourth-rated guard right now. And saying, hey, well, how about I start practicing with contact? How about I get with my agent and start doing those things? How about I can prove that I can do it and then take a chance? I see this thing as 50-50. We had a conversation about this during the season. And it all, I think, revolves around his physical, what the medical professionals say. If he's going to be a late draft pick or third-round pick, fourth-round pick, I don't know if it's worth it. For him, I don't know his goals. Now, for some guys, third-round pick, that's all I need to hear. They gone.
Yep.
Because third-round pick money is better than no money. There's guys that third-round pick money will keep the lights on at their mother's house. See, sometimes we get caught up in, he's not first round. It's not lottery, so he should stay. Psh. His mother's lights are off at the house. His family is homeless back home. He's here playing college football, but back home is a wreck. So third round money is better than no money. So you just never know someone's motivation. You never know someone's situation at all. So Trey Smith, the number one recruit.
And then there's the factor of, well, what if blood clots do come back? And that is the risk of kind of you're talking about the lights being on or off, and maybe that's Trey Smith's electrical bill right there, is whether or not the blood clots come back. Because he is risking, if he were to come back, if they reappear, then, I mean, he's almost untouchable in the draft. I mean, Trey Smith is ultimately going to get a chance, even if it's as an undrafted free agent. Somebody's going to pick him up and try to work with him, in my opinion.
If he comes back?
Yes. Like, even if the blood clots come back next year, somebody will give him an undrafted free agent.
I don't know, man.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I mean, at the bare minimum, a tryout or something along those lines.
If he comes back and he's a severe risk for his life, I mean, why would you even bring him out there?
Yeah, I mean,
I
was more so talking about, like, the first time they came up, he went through this plan and he was cleared to play. So if they reemerged, he would go back through that plan and he would be quote unquote cleared to play. And at that point, it would just be hard to invest in him, just period, because you don't want to invest millions of dollars into somebody who may never even take an NFL snap.
Mm-hmm.
So Trey Smith has that risk too of, okay, right now this may be my cleanest bill of health that I'm going to have. Do I want to come back to college for a year and risk those injuries or health issues resurfacing, and then I don't get any money at all?
He's had a whole year without a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's in the clear.
The plan looks like it's working,
Mm-hmm.
but you just never know.
Right.
And so if they do resurface, then that changes everything. I mean, that changes completely everything. And I don't know what you would do if you are an NFL team. I know for Tennessee, you continue to do what you have to do to accommodate Trey Smith and allow him to take whatever time he needs off, and he doesn't have to practice with contact. And if he can play on Saturdays, you do that. But we're talking NFL, and he's not going to be able to do that at all. He's not. But he is the most important recruit for Tennessee. He is the most important player entering the 2020 season, other than the quarterback. There's no other way to slice it. I wish I could say, well, Trey Smith is the most important player and really say it with a straight face. But the quarterback is going to be the most important player for Tennessee next year. We know that. But other than the quarterback, it's going to be Trey Smith. The ability to run the football in the interior, going to the left, you'll be able to do that with Trey Smith. Him as a senior, he's going to get bigger, stronger, faster. Wanye Morris from Darnell Wright's going to get bigger, stronger, faster. Oh, man. So, yeah, Trey Smith is definitely the second most important player. So you get him, man, we're talking about a team that Oklahoma game is going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to win it, but it's going to be interesting for sure with Oklahoma changing a bunch of things there with their personnel and having a brand new quarterback. Even though he's going to be talented, he's going to be young. Too many young. Trey Smith. When will we get a decision? I don't know. We're starting to see decisions being made around the SEC. Tua made his decision yesterday to return. So we should be getting a decision soon because winter conditioning starts. And so if he's going to return, Trey Smith, he needs to lead that. He's a senior. He's an obvious, hands-down leader of this football team. No question. So he will be leading those workouts. So we should get a decision very soon. I'll be surprised if it goes past this week, to be honest, because winter conditioning it's going on. I mean, it's the first day of school back today, if I'm not mistaken, or tomorrow. Tomorrow?
I think it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So
I know my sister's back in town to start the semester. I just don't know if they start today or tomorrow.
Yeah, usually they start back on a Wednesday, but in a few days, winter conditioning will start, and with his situation, maybe he gets time off and he's able to ease back into winter workouts, but he still needs to be there.
Right.
He's the leader. He's going to be the captain. So expect a decision soon. 865-250-503 B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Hour 1 brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Stay with us.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Good morning, Swain Event listeners. It may be cold outside, but the local real estate market is hotter than a Times Square Rolex. If you have questions or are ready to move forward with buying, selling, or investing in real estate, then give me a call. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event. Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
Around the SEC is brought to you by 42nd Street, 42sd.com, specializing in website design, logo design, and print design. Let's go around the conference and see who is leaving for the NFL draft other than Tua. Maybe there's some more.
That is right. Tua was the big news yesterday. Devontae Smith also announced that he will be returning to school, while Henry Ruggs announced that he will be leaving school and declaring for the NFL draft. So those were the three Alabama names that surfaced yesterday. I want to talk about Georgia, and I want to talk about Vanderbilt today. Five-star running back Zachary Evans is not expected to end up at Georgia, but sources tell 247 Sports.
But Georgia superfan got online and was talking about him.
Must have had some bad information. That was funny. That guy just looks like a clown.
Ray. Oh, yeah, Ray _UGA. Zach Evans, man, that's a really interesting development. Remember, Tennessee hosted him on a visit months ago from Houston, Texas, five-star, top 20 player in the country, top 15, 20, 15, 25, 15, 10, I don't know. But he's a top player in the country.
Yes,
and he's a five-star.
He's really talented. He told reporters at the Under Armour All-American game that he signed with a college team during the early signing period. That program was Georgia, but Evans did not announce his college decision as previously scheduled during the All-Star game. Evans said post-game he can't answer questions about his college decision. So,
you know how, like, when fans say, I don't care about five stars because they're headaches.
Mm-hmm.
And they can be headaches, and that can sometimes mean, oh, okay, you're just making an excuse for not getting a 5 star, so you're trying to make yourself feel better.
Right.
Well, in this case, it's really true because Zach Evans' recruitment has been like a movie. He has had some discipline issues there at his high school. Alabama basically did not want him because of the baggage. He may end up at Texas A&M because he's right there from Houston. But who's going to bring him in with all the baggage that is attached to him, and everyone knows it? Who's going to bring him in anyways and say, you know what, I can fix him. I can change him. He's such a talent that we have to bring him in. Who's going to do that? That's what I want to know. I'll be kind of pay attention to what school will do that. But you know who I thought about?
Lane Kiffin.
Oh, yeah.
Lane Kiffin is the first name that comes to mind.
I don't think Lane should touch Zach Evans. I don't think that would be a good look. Your first year at Ole Miss, and out of nowhere you sign Zach Evans.
No, let's not do that.
That wouldn't be a good look for Lane Kiffin.
And as far as I know, he hasn't shown any interest in Ole Miss to this point. So
not that I know.
I would not do that. Georgia needs running back help. DeAndre Swift has entered the NFL draft. He announced this on Friday evening. ESPN NFL draft expert Mel Kiper Jr. lists DeAndre Swift as the number 1 draft-eligible running back and the 16th highest-rated player overall on his big board. So Zachary Evans was a key recruit for Georgia because, as expected, DeAndre Swift declared for the draft. Malik Herring, he implied that he is going to return for Georgia for his senior season. He was a significant contributor for Georgia on the defensive line as a sophomore, but this past season, injuries held him back at times. So according to Malik Herring, he is going to run it back. So didn't officially say that he was going to come back, but alluded to the fact that he would. I want to talk about Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt has a lot of change going on at the moment.
Okay.
That staff is reminiscent of Derek Dooley's staff going into Derek Dooley's final season. Just a lot of staff changes.
Oh, jumping off the boat?
That's what it looks like. But Vanderbilt has hired Todd Fitch as offense coordinator and Ted Roof as the defense coordinator. Vanderbilt coach Derek Mason announced these hires over the weekend on Saturday. He also announced that Peter Rosamondo is the Commodores' new offensive line coach. Todd Fitch, who will serve as the offensive coordinator, spent the past 4 seasons at Louisiana Tech. Bulldogs went 10-3 this season, capped by a shutout victory over Miami in the Independence Bowl. His offense ranked 36th in the country in scoring and 37th in total offense. He's also been the offensive coordinator at Boston College, East Carolina, and South Florida. Ted Roof, the defense coordinator that Derek Mason hired, he has been at Appalachian State. That's where he was this past season, where Appalachian State went 13-1. With its defense ranked in the top 25 in several categories. It's all according to an article on ESPN. And Rosamondo, the new offensive line coach, after Vanderbilt's offensive line coach left to go to UNLV, we talked about that last week. He was the offensive line coach at Rutgers last season, and prior to being at Rutgers, he was the head coach at Central Connecticut State from 2014 to 2018. And it is an interesting hire because yesterday, one of Vanderbilt's lone good football players, left tackle Devin Cochran, who is a potential 2021 NFL draft pick, entered the NCAA transfer portal. And as I mentioned, his announcement comes 2 days after the announcement of the new offensive line coach. Cochran, who is 6'7", 318 pounds, started 32 games in 3 seasons at Vanderbilt, and as a graduate transfer, he can obviously play immediately, according to Adam Sparks of the Tennessean. Last season, he drew regular interest of NFL scouts who attended practice to watch the pro prospect trio of Pinckney, Keyshawn Vaughn, and Kalijah Lipscomb. He would have been one of the best returning offensive linemen in the SEC next season, should Tennessee go after him. He's a legitimate offensive lineman. I know he's from Vanderbilt, but he is a legitimate offensive lineman who is drawing interest from the NFL. 6'7", 318 pounds. There's not really a need per se, but it doesn't help to have as many offensive linemen as you can.
I guess it depends on what Trey Smith is going to do, but what's the likelihood of a young man transferring from Vanderbilt to Tennessee? I know Brandon Kennedy transferred from Alabama to Tennessee, but I mean,
not very likely.
I think you're good at offensive lineman. I don't think you need to bring in any transfers. You have signed some offensive linemen this class. You did it last class, and you're developing those guys, and you have a solid core. So I would say no. I would pass.
I would too, for the reason that you mentioned. Before we get to Don, I do want to mention that the ESPN and SEC are nearing a deal. They are near the finish line, according to John Orand of the SBJ. He tweeted out last night that the contract details are being worked out and that ESPN and the SEC are hammering out the final details on a contract that will see college football's top broadcast TV property move from CBS to ABC, according to multiple sources. An official announcement is not imminent, as talks have slowed around the holidays and bowl season. At one point, both sides had hoped to announce something around the College Football Championship Monday, but it's unlikely to be completed by that time. A deal could come in the weeks after the championship game. According to sources, the ESPN ABC have committed to pay an annual fee in the low $300 million range, a substantial increase from the $55 million per year that CBS currently pays on average. It's difficult to pin a number on this deal since ESPN already held all of the conference's cable TV rights plus the SEC network deals that run through 2034. It is not known how those deals might change as part of the new one. So the SEC is going to go from making $55 million off of its game of the week per year, $55 million per year from CBS, to the low $300 million range per year. That is absurd.
No money for the players, though.
Nope.
Not a little bit. Not a little bit. No, just a couple pennies here and there. Nope, not at all. Not saying that players should just get straight get paid or anything. Just saying, a lot of money floating around.
Try that. The name, image, and likeness. It's about to come up.
Yeah, a lot of money floating around there. All right, let's get to the phones. Let's bring in Don. Don, good morning.
Hey, gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning, Don. How you doing, man?
It's fine. Hey, I've got several bits of info about Trey Smith that I've picked up in the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's that goofball at ESPN, draft guru with the big hair.
Oh, that's Mel Kiper.
Forever.
With the slip back.
He's the one reference that Trey was. He had Trey as his number 7 guard, but
that's right. That's who it was.
Considering a lot of times they're already in the middle of the third round, and some guy that's been his top 10 pick still available, that doesn't surprise me.
He's been doing it a long time, so he's been wrong a lot, and he's been right a lot.
Yeah, well, you can't miss them all when you're out here looking at top players. Also, yesterday, I haven't had a chance to go back and look exactly where, but Trey gave a date in which he would be announced. I'm thinking it might be Thursday, but I could be wrong. I just remember reading it yesterday that he had set a date in which he would be, announcing what he was going to do. Going back to his health issues, I've heard several times that, I don't remember if it's Mike McFillier, it's one of those NFL news guys, said that in regards to how Trey's health and lack of practice, that they only hit full contact about 8 times a year in the NFL, which would be an average about once every 2 games. So they were talking about that part shouldn't be an issue because they don't do it much anyhow.
Yeah, it's the training camp.
And there was a player last year on the exact regimen that Trey was on that played in the NFL last year with the Blake Fox alone. I forget which team it was or what the guy's name was. It wasn't a name that just popped up in my head since I don't follow it that close. But there was a player already on that particular regimen and apparently did okay this year. So,
I think there was 2. I think David Andrews is one with the Patriots, and then there's another player. I want to say he was an SEC player that is out west. I want to say he was with the Chargers. But yeah, those guys are already in the NFL, and
Andrews didn't practice or play this year though.
So yeah, so you have him, and then you have when I googled, I think it was Russell Okung there with the Chargers. So
right,
yeah,
it was okay.
Yeah, Trey Smith has to get through training camp, which is very, very physical. So when you first get there to your NFL team, you have mini camp that's in the spring. As soon as the draft is over, you report to your team. You have that. Then you have your summer conditioning, all those things. But when you report, which is like the end of July, it's full contact, like it's go. And then after that, when the season starts, you're not hitting that much at all.
Yeah. Well, I would consider the number top lineman draft choices coming out that just are flat out talent bust or whatever. I believe if I was an NFL team, I'd be willing to risk a pretty high draft choice to get a guy like that. Anybody that watches him play and thinks there's 6 guards alone, I don't think there's 6 linemen coming out as good as Trey Smith. Let alone 6 guards. Don't know about the guy at Alabama, didn't know his name. But if you're on the offensive line, you come from Alabama, you have, pretty good chance you're going to be top line, often with, looks like they're running backs now. The last 2 or 3 has done pretty well, but there for a while, Alabama would have all these high draft choice running backs, and they'd all be bust. But now, got Raiders this past year in particular, one I'm thinking about, really, really panned out, and I think Najee Harris will pan out. But it's interesting. The reason I think some NFL teams hold on to coaches, you wonder why Marvin Lewis lasted as long as he did. You wonder why Detroit's keeping their guy and people like that is, here's the Cowboys with more money than any franchise out there. And I don't know how McCarthy would be, but he's not, I guess, what, the flavor of the month and sexy hired. A lot of people not that keen on it, but I think if you looked at everybody, they were, and I'm not a Cowboy fan, by the way, but if you looked at all the names that was popping up and this, that, and other, he's probably the most proven name that they looked at. So,
yep.
Somebody that's actually accomplished something in the league.
Yep.
So I can understand. I think the Redskins might have pulled off the best 2 so far with getting Rivera and also the defensive coordinator, whose name's escaping me, that's been a head coach 2 or 3 times. Gosh, what's his name, guys?
Let's see, who did the Redskins bring in defense coordinator? I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know that Ron Rivera brought him in fairly quick. So do not follow the Redskins. I have a brother that's a huge Redskins fan from his time living in Maryland. But Jack Del Rio. So Jack Del Rio is leaving ESPN to go to the Redskins. But there's a lot of talk about Jerry Jones looking at the college crop of coaches, Dan Mullen, Urban Meyer, Riley over there at Oklahoma, Matt Rule, but he wanted a coach with NFL experience. He did not feel comfortable going to the college route, and everyone's making jokes. I can't make any jokes. Mike McCarthy, Super Bowl winning coach. I can't make any jokes there.
It's just not a sexy hire. And
what the hell is a sexy hire? What does that even mean?
It's because the whole complaint with the Cowboys in recent years was that they're stuck in the past. They're just so boring to watch. And I mean, you go and you look at Mike McCarthy, and that's what his Packers teams were. I mean, I heard Stephen A. say it yesterday on First Take that Aaron Rodgers is the one who was complaining, and not really complaining about Mike McCarthy, but he was very demonstrative and voicing his opinion about we need to change things. We need to adapt to this new age style of offense, and Mike McCarthy just would not, and that's why Mike McCarthy is no longer there. So it seems like they almost just got a better version of Jason Garrett.
Okay, that's good. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with getting a better version of Jason Garrett if it works? I mean, you look at Seattle Seahawks, and I mean, their offense is not spectacular or new age with all these gadgets and cool trick plays. I mean, the Rams did that stuff last year, and they didn't win anything. But the Seattle Seahawks, they've won a Super Bowl, and Pete Carroll has continued to have his team in the playoffs, and they run a quote-unquote boring offense. Aaron Rodgers won an MVP. He's won 1 Super Bowl. He has not been the greatest leader at all. Now, he's an amazing talent, But the GM of the Packers did Aaron Rodgers no favors there with the Packers.
Yeah.
With not engaging in free agency. So people can look at Mike McCarthy and look at his record and what he didn't do, what he did do, and go, oh, it's not a sexy hire. What is a sexy hire? What does that even mean?
A Lincoln Riley or an Urban Meyer.
Yeah, just get the right hire. That's all it means. Tennessee didn't make a sexy hire with Jordan Pruitt. But does it really matter?
No, because it's working.
Just get the right hire. That's all that matters. And I don't have any jokes with the Cowboys. I think it's a pretty good hire, to be honest.
It's just because it's the media, it's the fans. I know people want to blame the media, but it's just as much the fans' fault because the media and the fans were hyping up Urban Meyer to get that job. We're hyping up Lincoln Riley, Matt Rule, and so there were these expectations for how long? I mean, we've been talking about Lincoln Riley to the Cowboys since the beginning of time, it feels like. So when the time comes to actually hire a football coach and this brilliant offensive mind and one of the best college coaches isn't who the hire is, I mean, it's going to seem as if Mike McCarthy is a big disappointment.
Yeah. I think being able to manage personalities, manage grown-ups, adults is very, very important, and it's underrated. And remember, McVay, boy wonder last year, youngest head coach, and went to the Super Bowl and got schooled by Bill Belichick. And since he got schooled by Bill Belichick, what has he done there with the Rams? Nothing. Not since the Super Bowl. And they just got rid of Wade Phillips, used him as a scapegoat when you tried to throw in Jalen Ramsey mid-season, and, the defense wasn't all great. The Rams out the playoffs this year. Mike McCarthy, when you look at him, Ron Rivera, Marvin Lewis, I mean, those guys have managed locker rooms. And I think when you look at the Cowboys, that's what it's about. You got the talent, but you got to keep those guys motivated. You got to keep them hungry. You got to have a structure. You got to continue to develop Dak Prescott. I don't have a problem with the hire, to be honest. I just don't. Who's next?
Chuck, but we're about to hit the top of the hour, so I don't want to cut Chuck off.
So, Chuck, we will come to you at the top of the hours here on the Swain event. He only won one Super Bowl. Well, look around the league. Pete Carroll only won one Super Bowl.
Zachary Evans, the 5-star running back that we were talking about, Georgia and Texas A&M. Justin asked, if we get Jay Graham, do you think we try to get Zach Evans?
Guys, I don't think you want Zach Evans. I don't think you want Zach Evans. Now, I got confidence in Pruitt to be able to manage guys like that, because you look at Juwan Jennings, you look at Jeremy Banks. I think Banks will be back on the football team, but you look at those situations, and I have confidence that Pruitt can take someone with some baggage and work with them, but I don't know. You better have some strong leadership in place with your team. Outside Trey Smith, who are we looking at? I don't know. I haven't really sat down to think about it. But it's a really good question, though. Really good question. Tennessee gets Jay Graham. Are you looking to pull some of those running back targets from Texas A&M? That's a good question. Zach Evans will be one for sure. Hour 2 coming up.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown Turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union. Place where you belong, better rates and better service. We got touchdown turnover, then we'll get to Chuck quickly because we got to get to Chuck. Chuck has been waiting. Jordan Bowden will have 10-plus points against Missouri. Tennessee basketball. Will we see it, Benjamin? Does Jordan Bowden get going? 10-plus points. Touchdown turnover.
I'll say touchdown. 10 points is fairly easy
10 points
to obtain.
Just 10.
Now, he had some shots against LSU on Saturday to where he did not even hit the rim. I mean, it just two awful shots stick out on the top of my head. There was one in the corner where he just completely missed everything, and then there was, I think it was a mid-range pull-up where, I mean, he wasn't even close to making the shot. So we'll see. Missouri allows 56 points per game, which is pretty good. Good defense. Now they got lit up by Kentucky, but Kentucky is Kentucky. Nick Richards tore them apart. Missouri is strong at the guard position with Drew Smith and Mark Smith. They have 3 guys in their starting lineup with their last name Smith, so pray for Bob Kessling throughout the day. Drew Smith, Mark Smith, Mitchell Smith, all in the starting lineup for Missouri. So, again, pray for Bob Kessling throughout today. But it's 10 points, Jordan Bowden. You're the focal point of the offense. You have Santiago Vescovi getting you the basketball. Don't settle for threes unless you're wide open. Drive to the basket. You have a beautiful mid-range pull-up jump shot. Attack. Be aggressive. That is when you are at your best. So I say touchdown. I do think he will be aggressive and score at least 10 points. It's just 10 points, and you are a senior.
Just 10 points, man. Just 10 points. Tennessee has lost the last 4 out of 5. 4 out of the last 5. Oh, man. Can we get 10 points? Just 10. 10. Not 11. Just 10. Against LSU, Jordan Bowden had 3. 12 shots. 12 shots. Vescovi had 13 shots. 13 shots. I'm going to say touchdown. I'm going to say touchdown. I actually think there's less pressure on the road. I think you can play a little bit more free. There's less pressure on the road. I think he gets 10 points. Double figures. I think he gets it today against Missouri tonight, 7 p.m. I think it happens. So touchdown. Let's get to the phones and let's get to Dave Tona. Chuck Drop. Daytona is up next. Daytona, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How you feeling, man?
Like dog poo.
Well, at least you're able to call in. How about that?
Right.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, man, I hate going. I'm not a doctor or a hospital person. And y'all can tell by listening to me that there's something wrong. They couldn't find anything wrong.
I'm really, really, really believing that you and Devontae are somehow connected. Y'all are connected, man, because y'all call around the same time, and now y'all have been sick around the same time. You sound just like Devontae.
Ben was sick before me. It's because he had a secret rendezvous with Devontae in Alabama.
I don't know, man. You and Devontae, man, y'all connected. Y'all energy is right on the same wavelength.
I can't remember what caller called after I did and said that they were going to get Devontae's information so that I could go to that nursing home.
Was that DR Ball? Was that
Boy,
I think it was DR Ball.
I tell you what, that did not help because it hurts to laugh right now, and I laughed my head off. I could just see pulling that string and saying, "Devontae, I soiled myself."
Can you give me some warm milk, Devontae? Oh man.
Hey, don't make me laugh. It hurts. Anyways, but Mike McCarthy, him and I went to the same high school up in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
At the same time?
Pretty cool dude. But I don't have a lot to say. I just wanted to let y'all know I was alive.
Well, thank you, man. I'm glad that you are alive, Daytona. Get better, man.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Poor guy.
But Mike McCartney only has one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. You sure you want to go that route? You sure you want to go that route, folks who have said that? Do you want some perspective? Do you know that Drew Brees and Sean Payton, they've only won one Super Bowl together? Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, one Super Bowl together. Oh, you're not going to like this next one. Man, they're not going to like it, are they? Ooh, how about this one? I'm nervous for you. This might hit you in the chest right here. You ain't going to like this one. How about this? Tony Dungy and Peyton Manning, only one Super Bowl together.
I got one that I really don't like.
Ooh, my chest hurt on that one. Oh, man, that fire in my chest. That hurt.
I got two that I really don't like. Bill Cowher and Ben Roethlisberger.
Ooh.
I got one even worse.
It stings. It burns. It's in my chest.
Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger.
Ooh. Oh, man. It's in my chest. That's down in my stomach. I got bubble guts. Oh, it hurts. It hurts.
Jeff Fisher and Steve Bing. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Almost. A yard, man. Almost.
If a yard.
Almost. Yard and a half. So, I'm no Cowboys fan, obviously. I don't think it's terrible. I just don't think it's terrible. Let's go back to the phones this morning. 865-255-03. Who we got next?
You know who we have next.
Devontae, man, your uncle Daytona, your brother Daytona, cousin, y'all are related somehow, some way. Any tips you have for him to get healthy? Where's Devontae?
I
was on mute. I'm like, what happened? I guess my face hit the phone. Some advice for him though, fellas. Tell him stop skinny dipping in Daytona.
So tell that's the trick.
Can't go butthole naked in no water, Dave.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
And hey, but look, one thing I did catch. Ben asked him, did he go to school with Mike McCarthy? At the same time, and he avoided the question.
Oh yeah, he didn't want to answer that now. He went Bill Belichick on Cincinnati. He didn't want to answer that one. He heard it.
He was like, let me get off this phone right fast.
Yeah, I just wanted to call in and tell you I was alive. Goodbye. He didn't want to answer that one now.
No, he better go. He better get him some something for that flu symptom, man. That's the best thing for him to do, man. Get rid of that flu. Because I know how you're feeling, Dave. And I can be your friend while you're sick, man. Because, woo, you probably can't breathe right now. But you got 18 grandkids, man. Somebody can do something for you now. You need to be having them over there like soldiers in that kitchen cooking, cleaning your house because you can't do it. Wish I had 18 grandchildren.
One thing he can do, that is dial up the Swain event. He can do that.
I was doing it. I was sick for 3 weeks and called every day. He didn't even want to talk today. He just said, I want to call y'all and let I know I was living. I'm alive.
Oh, man. You can't make Daytona laugh, though. You can't make him laugh because he said it hurts.
How true is it about Rocker retiring, man? Give it to me easy.
Retiring?
Okay, that was a bogus report I heard along. No, I read.
No, I mean I haven't heard that one. I mean, so around Christmas break, I was at main event, and your boy was bowling, had my bowling shoes on, and next to me was Tracy Rocker and his family, and I saw, and Kumar was there too bowling, and who's hitting off him?
Nobody.
Kumar is the star pitcher there at Vanderbilt. Who's hitting off him? Like I was just watching him. The dude's built like a freight train. Who's hitting off him?
He built like his daddy, man.
Oh man, he is built like a brick house. And so I was kind of just sitting back, like, wow, man. He doesn't get many of those moments.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish your story. Swain event callers. This is Jason Swain, the man who wore #1 after Jason Witten. This is a top receiver in a lot of our eyes in the early 2000s. He sat back and admired somebody else. Ain't that something, you guys? Finish your story.
Don't Kanye West me. Don't Kanye West me. I'm in the middle of saying something, Devontae. Don't Kanye West me.
How you know he wasn't in shock when he seen you?
No, he wasn't. But I was sitting there just watching him father. You know, just have those moments that he doesn't have a lot. I mean, he barely had time to go watch his son compete in the World Series. And he's been doing this a long time. I never thought about him retiring. I've never heard about him retiring. I'm not going to sit here and say that it won't happen or it couldn't happen, but I could see it. I mean, I would certainly think about it if I was Tracy Rocker. For me, because, you know, just being there, going to my kids' games, and, you know, he's getting ready to go to the major leagues, and this is going to be like the best time of his life. I would want to be there. And I'm going to spend your money, Kumar. I made enough money. I don't need to make any more money. You about to make your own. I'm going to spend some of yours now. You spend enough of mine, 18 years. I'm going to spend some of yours now. That's how I would think, but I've never heard about that, Devontae. I haven't heard that rumor, but I've heard a ton of them. I've heard about Derek Ainsley going to Bama. I've heard T. Martin going to Ole Miss. I've heard a lot of rumors, but I haven't heard about, you know, Rocker retiring.
See, that's why I stick to the typical, the Ben McKees and the Jason Swain shows when he ain't on TV, and the Nathan Relaford and the Wes Rucker. The report that I probably read was probably some BS. It was probably some BS.
I mean, it's not crazy to wonder. I mean, I think it's up in the air that Rocker and Rump will be on this staff next year. But I mean, you look at Kumar, and I know for me, I would want to spend those moments. I mean, the one thing that's an advantage for me doing radio and doing a show from 7 to 10 is that I get a chance to be the father that I never had, and I get a chance to be there all the time, and that's important to me. That's just me. That's just me.
It's me too. As a father, that's the important phase is spending time with your kids so they learning and you know and understanding stuff, and you like you say, being the father that some people didn't have for themselves. So maybe, well, I ain't gonna say maybe. Hopefully, it wasn't true because me personally, Rocker one of my favorite developers on the staff, and I know a lot of people be like, "Well, he don't recruit like that," but he done had majority of the firepower. You know, last year he had 2 5-stars in Shy, and a 5-star in Shy and 2 4-stars in Alexis and Kyle, and he had Kungbo. Well, no, he didn't have Kungbo. I'm sorry. And this year, you know, he got a lot of 4-stars, but the one thing I do notice with him, if you always look at his body of work at the beginning of the season and the end of the season, with what he have and what he did, switching everybody is not even the same people he had last year that he had this year in the starting position, I think he a good developmental coach, and I wouldn't want him to go nowhere. But, you know, like I said, if it's retirement, if that's the way he go out, that's the best way to go out.
I'll say this, Devontae, and thanks for the phone call. Tracy Rocker probably did the best coaching job of any other position coach. And trust me, I thought about it long and hard when Devontae was talking. I really wasn't paying attention to what Devontae was saying in the last couple of minutes because I was thinking about this so hard. Sorry, Devontae. Devontae tried to Kanye West me, man. But you look at the DBs, Nigel's a senior. Nigel's a senior. He's always had the talent. Bryce Thompson was good last year. Alontae Taylor was good last year. So you kind of went with guys that already kind of did it. And Schenberger kind of had a strong finish. And then you look at linebackers, and Dan Batuli's a senior. Henry To'oTo'o is special. Offensive line surprised a lot of people. Trey Smith is, you don't really have to say much to Trey Smith. Brandon Kennedy experience, maybe not as far as playing, but being in college football program and competing at a high level and how to conduct yourself as a student athlete. And then you have, you know, Wanye Morris and Darnell Wright. I mean, those guys are special. Of course, you got to coach them up. But the defensive line lost their best player in Emmett Gooden and took some other dudes and went to go compete in the SEC, and I didn't see us getting just blown off the football. I didn't see us giving up a ton of rushing yards. I didn't see us being severely exploited there with the defensive line. I didn't see much of that at all. So you look at the coach that probably had the most impressive year as far as coaching and development, it's Tracy Rocker. When you think about it that way. But we know recruiting is very, 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 very important. So I haven't seen any report about Tracy Rocker retiring. If you ask me whether or not he's going to be on the staff, retirement, or go somewhere else, I mean, I think I can see a scenario where he's not on the staff. I mean, his 2-year deal is up. He's one of the guys that I look at, along with him and Rump and Shera, as guys I could see not being part of the staff next year. I can see that. Devontae gonna Kanye West me. I know this show and everything, but let me make me feel like I'm Taylor Swift or something. Gotta shake it off. I just know the chorus. That's it. I don't know the whole song. I have no idea what the whole song is all about. Just the chorus. Shake it off. That's it. 865-200-5503. Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline Hour 2 brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com. Be right back.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Hey, it's Chris Lowe of ESPN. And listen, maybe Jason Swain didn't wear number 1 quite as well as the great Leonard Little did at Tennessee, but he is your go-to guy for all things Big Orange. Join us weekly on the Swain event, brought to you by Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine and trsportsmedicine.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Good morning, Swain event listeners. It may be cold outside, but the local real estate market is hotter than a Times Square Rolex. If you have questions or are ready to move forward with buying, selling, or investing in real estate, then give me a call. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
If you aren't following the Swain event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
Hour 2 here in the Swain event brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com, Paper Mill, Turkey Creek, West Town Mall. Shop online 24/7 at alumnihall.com. Let's go. We'll wait till Ben gets off the phone with Dave Toner. Dave Toner, go rest. Go rest, Dave Toner. Go get some tussin. Go rest. Let's go back to the phones. Who we got?
D.R. Vol.
D.R. Vol. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. So if we're sick, do we need to email a doctor's note so we don't feel obligated to call like Dave Tona?
Yes, yes, you do.
But Dave Tona is his own boss, though. He's self-employed.
Yeah, that's true. But when I listened to this, I could not believe he called in. I thought he was having a heart attack or something. But I guess that's one way to go, calling in the Swain and Ben.
That is one way to go. That's right, man.
So, Swain, do you think you were staring down Kumar like Ben was Juwan that time?
No, it wasn't like that. I wasn't smiling like Ben.
Well, you didn't have that phone out taking pictures?
No, it wasn't.
Like
it was
on Instagram taking a picture of a cheeseburger?
No, it wasn't like that. No, I wasn't staring at him that way. I just noticed how massive of a human being he was, and I was thinking to myself, who's hitting that fastball? I don't know. And I just thought it was a cool moment that, Tracy, who just like a lot of SEC coaches, you don't see your families. I mean, there's a couple months where you just don't see your family at all, and your son is also a student athlete there at Vanderbilt. So just imagine all the FaceTimes you have to do just to even be able to see your son. So I thought that was just a really cool moment. I just said, hey, but I know he was trying to be low key, and he did a good job of being low key, and no one really noticed him that much. So I just thought it was a really cool moment.
Yeah. So any word on if we're going to be blessed to lose Chris Winkie yet?
I don't think Chris Winkie's going anywhere, man.
That's really shocking, especially what we've heard all year, don't you think?
Well, last year he was at the running back position. I don't think that's the best spot for him. because I think if you are a running back coach in the SEC, there's this level of expectation that comes with that as far as recruiting. And I don't think Chris Winkie met that. But as a quarterback coach, you tag team with Jim Chaney. You go out there and your job is to go and recruit the best quarterbacks in the country, and then when they come here, you develop him. I mean, that's all I asked of you. But I think once you're coaching running backs, and I don't think that was Chris Winkie's best spot last year. So I can't fault Chris Winkie's job this year. I mean, he had a tough job. You can look at JG and blame it on Chaney and Winkie all you want to, but I don't do that. I look at Jared and say, hey man, you got to be better. I mean, they managed JT Shrout, they managed Brian Maurer with their flaws, along with JG's flaws, as best as they can, and we got the 8 wins. And we had inconsistent quarterback play all year long. So I didn't think he did a terrible job. So I don't think he's going anywhere, even though his contract is expired.
You're right. You definitely can't judge him off the running back coach spot. You talk about SEC. I'm going to tell a quick story about the game real quick, and then I'll get off here.
Okay.
But, they were lining up to take the kick, and we called a timeout trying to ice them. So I'm standing there trying to not have a heart attack like Pap on the Swain event. And this guy, I guess security or whatever, comes down and says, sir, you can't stand in the walkway. So I kept standing. I didn't want to miss it because I already missed the onside kick from looking ahead and looking at the return man. And he said, sir, you can't stand in the way. I said, dude, leave me alone. I didn't realize who he was. And then, of course, they made the kick, missed it. And I turned around and hugged him, and he rolled his eyes and went back. When we missed it, these fans started chanting SEC, SEC.
Oh,
and I lost my mind. I told them, shut the HELL up. This is a Tennessee win, not SEC win. So if anybody's listening that was chanting SEC, I don't like you.
I got questions about this whole moment here, D'Arval, that you just explained.
You sound like an angry little elf.
D'Arval, you were willing to get yourself removed from the football game in front of your 2 kids.
I didn't know who he was. All I know is a guy kept trying to talk to me during the field goal kick. And so he just, it could, my preacher and his family moved down behind us. It could have been him for all I knew, but I'd already missed the onside kick.
Don't take Daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy,
yeah. Can I take
my
kids with me, please?
Daddy, where are you going?
You're right. I thought about that afterwards. Like, man, I could have got kicked out in front of my kids. Didn't they really know? Don't take it too serious.
Oh, they'll be mad at you for the rest of their lives. Daddy made me miss that fourth
I
quarter.
was mad at myself for missing the end. Well, my son had already, of course, he's just 5, and I told you, I've had to get on him in football games for talking trash to the other little kids. And he asked about the red team. I said, we don't like the red team. So, kids say the darndest things. So the first family we see with Indiana stuff, he proceeds to tell them he doesn't like them, and they're just looking dumbfounded.
There you go. I mean, he's being honest.
Pretty proud of him.
Yeah, we teach honesty, man, with our kids. So, good job.
Yeah. So, well, guys, I'm going to get off here. I will say this. I am looking forward to watching the Dynasty Killers versus the NFC North, not Pittsburgh Steelers champion. See you guys.
See you. Oh, man, another dig at the Steelers.
That would have been a good joke if he had not said the NFC North.
I know. It's the AFC North.
And he wants to talk about you looking at Tracy Rocker and Kumar Rocker like I look at Jawan Jennings. I think the better translation is Swain was looking and listening to Kumar Rocker like D'Arval does Volstorm's phone calls.
Yeah. I mean, D'Arval was risking it all for the Vols, man. He really was. I mean, his kids could have witnessed him being escorted from the game because he did not listen to the stadium security. Or the usher.
That would have been something. That would have been interesting.
That would have been hilarious. Sorry, D'Arval. I would have laughed. Your behavior forced your young kids to miss the game because you didn't listen to the security there.
I think you have to call child services on that one.
No, man. No, you got to do all that. But that would have been funny.
Yeah, yes, you do have to do all that because you're making them miss one of the greatest bowl endings in Tennessee history.
That'd be funny. I can see little D'Arval, man, 10 years from now saying, you know what, I'm just so mad at my dad. I'll never forget him. It's the reason why my fandom is all jacked up, because when I was at the Indiana-Tennessee Tax Layer Bowl, I was on the edge of my seat, and Dad caused us to be removed from our seats. I'm scarred for life.
For life.
All right, who's next?
Nobody.
Who's that on the line then? That
DR Vol.
Is that DR Vol?
Yes.
Or was that Pap again?
It was DR Vol. Pap called in to ask me if I had asked him a question as he was getting off the phone.
No, don't try to pretend like you ain't here now. You heard.
He said that he was a freshman when Mike McCarthy was a senior.
Mm-hmm. Or other way around. You trying to say Mike McCarthy is older? Is that what you trying to say?
I think he said he was a freshman. Either way.
Oh, man.
They did go to high school at the same time.
Go rest, Dave Tona. Go rest, Pap. Stop calling. You get one call per day. One call. Go rest.
He said you get one call.
One call per day. Go rest. See? You know how we talk about sometimes you guys save the player from themselves. Mm-hmm. They have concussions. They want to get back in the game.
Yes.
We have to save Daytona from himself. He wants to call back in. He wants to, talk. Go lay down. Go sit down somewhere, Daytona.
With an ice pack on your head.
Go. Get out of here. Get gone now. Get out of here. If you're from the country, you know all about that. Get on. Get out. Get now. Go on now. 865-255-03 B-Drive Waterproof Hotline. Daytona. Go on now. Be right back.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team. Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
(865-255-03) B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Tennessee, Missouri tonight. Man, you can't lose the Conzo. You cannot lose the Conzo. After all the struggles that Mizzou has had over the last few months, you know how we are as Tennessee fans. We love to remind people that Conzo lost the game. Missouri lost. Missouri lost. Conzo. I'm not one who does that. You can't lose to Missouri tonight. That would not be a good look.
Tennessee is essentially playing itself. And what I mean by that is when you look at Missouri on paper, it looks like Tennessee on paper. Missouri is 51 in KenPom. Tennessee is 56th. Look at the points allowed per game. Points scored per game. Missouri scores 67 per game. Tennessee scores 66 per game. Missouri gives up 56 points per game. Tennessee gives up 59 points per game. Missouri shoots 43%. Tennessee shoots 42%. Missouri allows teams to shoot 36%. Tennessee allows teams to shoot 39%. So it's essentially the same team. Now, I'll be interested to see if Jeremiah Tillman plays. He has not played the last couple of games due to injury. Sat out the Kentucky game, I believe. At least he was not in the starting lineup. He has not been in the starting lineup the last two games. He is by far their best player and has not played recently. So if he plays, John Fulkerson and Eve Pons will have their hands full. If not, then they should have the advantage down low because the other guys that have filled in for him do not produce a lot of points, do not produce a lot of rebounds. They're very guard-heavy without him. Have two really good three-point shooters in Drew Smith, Mark Smith, good defenders as well. Both averaging 11.5 points per game and 11.7 points per game. So, should be an interesting matchup. This is a game that I expect for Tennessee to win.
You better not lose the Conzo. All right, going to the text box this morning for the first time. Ken says, agree. Nobody to blame regarding our atrocious quarterback play this year other than the one responsible for it. JG. I won't say atrocious. I would say inconsistent. Very inconsistent. If this was atrocious, Tennessee would not be 8-5 right now. I can tell you that. We have seen atrocious quarterback play where Tennessee did not reach a bowl game. We have seen that before. I wouldn't say atrocious, but I would say inconsistent. And when it was bad, it was bad. And when it was good, it was, it was all right.
Got the job.
Except for the one game against Mizzou, which was record-breaking, or record-setting, or put your name in the same conversation as Tyler Bray and Peyton Manning. So, we got to call it on both sides there. Vol in Birmingham says the knock on Winky is he can't recruit. He is supposed to get us into IMG, and he can't even get us in Florida. The people at IMG don't like him. I don't know how people feel about Chris Winky at IMG. I do know that IMG was expected to be a place where Tennessee will be able to go in and have more success because of Chris Winky's time as a head coach there. Did not work out that way. But, again, him being in the position that he's in right now, coaching quarterbacks, takes pressure off of him to have to recruit like a running backs coach or a defensive line coach or an outside linebackers coach like a Chris Rump. So Rump, Rocker, running backs coach, wide receiver coach, a guy like Brian Niedermeyer, those guys will be looked upon to do more of the heavy lifting and recruiting. Not saying Winky's totally to just sit back and chill, but it just takes a little bit of pressure off of him. So that's why I think Winky is okay. I don't think Winky's going to command a huge raise, or if one at all. But I can see him coming back. I can. Andrew from Cartersville says if Rump or Rocker does not return, does that open the door for Tasha Poy? We spoke about Tasha Poy, I think, last week or a week before that. Tasha Poy went from Alabama to the Cleveland Browns, and in doing so, I think he was urged to do that, and I don't think he is welcome back with both arms by Greg Sankey until probably another year or two. So it's only been 1 year since he's left the SEC. So I think I explained this last time, is that the days of huge announcements when someone does something in recruiting that's questionable, those days are
over.
It's few and far between, unless like you got Dan Wetzel or somebody from Yahoo that breaks a story, something like that.
Somebody does something egregious.
Yeah, but why would Greg Sankey want to blow the whistle on his own conference? So you want to keep that. You want to keep that stuff on the down low if you can, and say, hey Nick, it's probably best you let Tasha Poy go. And then Nick says, okay, let me make some phone calls. Hey, Freddie Kitchens, hire Tasha Poy, please. And then he goes to the NFL, and then no one knows anything, and you don't talk about it, and it's not public. And I don't think Tosh can come back in the SEC for another year. So now Tennessee could go to Greg Sankey and say, hey, come on, let's make it happen. And Greg could say, I'm not telling you can't do it, but I would just advise you not to. And then do it anyways, and then
you could potentially get in trouble.
Yeah. So you just got to be careful there. Tosh is someone that he skates on the line, and hey, that's okay. There's a lot of coaches that skate on the line in the SEC that have success recruiting, skating on the line. You kind of have to if you're going to recruit at a high level. So you look at Georgia and what they're doing, and how they just had a $10,000 fine and reduced visits and things like that. They skate on the line. Everyone skates on the line. So in regards to Tasha Poy being
an option, you don't see it.
It's a little early
for another year.
I may be wrong, but this is just information that I feel is accurate right now. But we'll see. Things can change. I think Tennessee could look to the NFL ranks to possibly add to the staff. They did that last year with Derek Ansley. Derek Ansley had ties to Jerome Pruitt. He had SEC ties. I think there's several NFL coaches out there with ties to Pruitt that have had success recruiting in the SEC. And I wouldn't be shocked one bit if Tennessee brought in an NFL guy. I can see it.
Let's go get Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo ain't coming to college.
I know. And he shouldn't come to college. He's on path to be a defensive coordinator soon in the NFL, and then he's on path to be a head coach.
Yeah, he's on the Vrabel path.
Yes. He is Bill Belichick's right-hand man.
I mean,
he's instrumental in that Patriots defense.
Yeah, he's
not your typical linebackers coach. Bill Belichick thinks very highly of him.
Yeah, so I would not come to college if I'm Gerard Mayo. If I'm in the NFL, I would not coach in college. I think that time with your family is valuable.
If I was in college, I'd want to coach in the NFL. I would not want anything to do with coaching in college unless it was like college basketball. College basketball is a little bit better just because you don't have to recruit as many people.
It would take an adjustment period for me to want to recruit in today's age.
Yes.
It's a whole nother ball game. Not saying I wouldn't want to do it, I couldn't do it, but it would take some adjustment. That's for sure. 865-200-5503. Orange ARC says, is there an ideal date to replace Coach Johnson? Do you think it'll happen before or after signing day? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to help you out, Tennessee fans. Was Jeremy Pruitt in any rush in hiring Jim Chaney?
Nope.
We thought the OC search was a complete failure at one point. Now, it wasn't smooth, I'll tell you that. But it took some time. It was
almost
not
2 months.
Yeah, it was not rushed. On the other hand, remember when it was official that Terry Fair was no longer going to be a part of the staff? Like the same day, I think it was the same day, or maybe the next day, Derek Ansley was announced as a defense coordinator. So that was a good PR move. Didn't have enough time to really get upset that a VFL was off the staff, and then you replaced him with Derek Ansley, and you was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. that's a pretty good replacement. Okay, you can't get you too upset about losing a VFL. That's a pretty good move.
And it was an upgrade.
It's a pretty good move. Yeah, it's a pretty good move. Yeah, it's good. Can't really complain on that one. Can't get too upset that the VFL didn't work out. They're actually a pretty good addition. So I don't think Pruitt's going to rush, because here we are, and it's been a couple days, and there hasn't been any information there, and so Tennessee's signing class is mostly done, except for maybe 2 or 3 spots. So there's no rush there. The guys who signed to play running back, they're cool. David Johnson talked to them. So you good. I mean, you good to really take your time. So I still think Jay Graham is the number 1 target. And then from there, you mentioned Montario Harsey. I think he's a guy that you look at, because he's familiar with his staff. He's worked with Jeremy Pruitt. Jeremy Pruitt knows exactly what he's going to get from Montario Hardesty. He does not know exactly, maybe from Jay Graham, because he has not been the head coach with Jay Graham on the staff, but he has worked on the same staff as Jay Graham. So I think those are kind of the 2 names that I'm focused on. I think any other 2 right now is I wouldn't put a bunch of stock in any other 2 names at this moment.
I'm fine with either Jay Graham or Montario Hardesty.
Yeah, I think those are the 2.
I think both have the pros and cons.
Yep, absolutely.
And more pros than cons.
Yep. Justin says Mike Ditka, Walter Payton, 1 championship. Man, oh, my chest hurting again. Oh, my goodness. Woo. Ah, man.
It doesn't really matter who the coach is with the Cowboys anyways, because I continue to believe that Jerry Jones is going to get in the way no matter what.
That is true. That is true. Can't disagree with you on that one. Hour 2, brought to you by Alumni Hall, alumnihall.com.
For what is coming up on the Swain event.
Rain is likely this morning, cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually becoming clearer with a high of 49 and a low of 32. Sunny skies are in the forecast for tomorrow with a high near 52 and a low around 32. More sunshine on Thursday with a high in the upper 50s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com. B-Dry is celebrating 60 years of protecting homes across the U.S. They are the basement and crawl space experts. There has been historic rainfall in East Tennessee recently. If you are experiencing wet foundation walls, puddles on your floor, or water where your floor and wall meet, then you should call B-Dry. They have over 500,000 customers nationwide. B-Dry gives free estimates for all homeowners. Financing is available, and if you mention the Swain event, B-Dry will give you $500 off a full perimeter basement waterproofing solution. Wet basement? Better call B-Dry, 865-588-0454 or online at bdry.com. Join the Swain event at Dead End Barbecue on Wednesday, February 5th to celebrate the Vault's victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during this special edition of the Swain event live from Dead End Barbecue. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2020 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain event and Dead End Barbecue.
Hey, Mr. Mack, you heard the lowdown? Nah, homie, give me the word on what's going on. Tell him what it is, Big Will.
Mac, now the lowdown is no money down, only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. No money down at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. Not $1,000 down, not $100 down, not even a nickel down. Low down, no down. Only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. 2 minutes from the airport. So fly on down to the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart. Home of the original low down, no down payment. That is, why would you buy from anywhere else when you know we gonna get you done? Good credit, bad credit, slow credit, we will get you approved. So come on down to 911 Louisville Road, the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart, or call 865-980-8216. Turn down for what?
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit, you get confused, you don't understand why, you start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
All right, let's get to Attaboy here in the Swain event. What do you have? I got one too now, Ben. Why are you laughing? You already laughing. You got to wait till you say it first.
I might catch you off guard, so prepare yourself. This may make you feel a little uncomfortable.
Great.
It's PG rated, but it still may make you feel uncomfortable.
Even more than Devontae's call?
I would hope so.
Golly, talking about being naked.
This is close.
Like, what naked? Oh,
we're going to Florida.
Oh, well, of course.
Bradenton, to be exact.
Okay.
This is an article from newswest9.com.
Okay.
Florida man wakes up to find another Florida man sucking on his toes.
Bruh.
A Florida man woke up in the middle of the night to find another man sucking on his toes, according to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Deputies say the man was sleeping in his bed in Bradenton when he woke up and realized he wasn't alone. The man told deputies he assumed he was being robbed, so he told the intruder he didn't have any money. But money wasn't what he was there for. The intruder told the man he was there to suck on his toes, according to an investigation write-up. That's when the man punched the accused toe sucker and forced him outside. I can't read this.
I think we've been doing for 5+ years? Probably 6 years. And I was worried when we started that, man, you know what? Will we not be able to find stories? Will we not be able to give proper for what's? I mean, with the well dry up? No, That answer is no. Because I have never heard of someone breaking into someone else's house just to suck on some toes. Was it Rex Ryan?
No. It was
okay,
not.
just want to eliminate suspects. Okay, all right. So it wasn't Rex Ryan. All right,
not Rex Ryan.
Huh. Oh boy. You know what? I'm just gonna do my for what here. Okay.
Probably.
I'm giving a for what to what seems to be at this point the biggest hater of 2020, and that is Bill Polian, Hall of Fame general manager, who was a public skeptic of Lamar Jackson during the draft process 2 years ago. Said he should have played receiver, was hating on him hard. Lamar Jackson, of course, has silenced those critics because he's going to be the NFL MVP this year at quarterback and has the best team in the league going into the playoffs. Lamar Jackson in the MVP voting got 47 out of 50 votes. Excuse me. For the AP All-Pro team, he got 47 out of 50 votes. So 3 people decided there was 3 quarterbacks that should have been All-Pro except for Lamar Jackson. One of those 3, Bill Polian.
Shocker.
Who voted for Russell Wilson over Lamar Jackson. Bill Polian, you get the biggest for what? You got Lamar Jackson wrong with the whole draft analysis. You gotta vote for Lamar Jackson, right? You just have to. So I'm giving him a for what? Biggest hater move.
So.
Biggest hater move of 2020.
Absolutely.
So back to these toes. I'm pretty sure there's some alcohol, drugs involved.
Had to have been.
Is there a picture of this suspect?
No.
I think this is important.
Apparently the suspect got away when he fled on foot. It said that the police sent K-9 units after the accused toe sucker, and they could not find him.
Whoa!
So if you live in Bradenton, Florida, just know that there is a toe sucker on the loose.
Whoa! So you mean tell me that this guy was able to break in someone else's house, put somebody's toes in his mouth,
get punched,
and get away?
Yes.
What was the dude doing? What was the victim doing? I guess we would call him a victim. He's a he's a victim. Of course he's a victim. He needs counseling, man. He broke in my house and started sucking my toes. I need a psychiatrist. I need to talk to somebody on somebody's couch. But how did he get away? You didn't punch him hard enough.
No.
You know what? My trainer lives in Bradenton, Florida. It's right there next to Naples. I think I'm gonna text him during the break. Hey man, you got your doors locked? You got the doors locked, man? If I lived in Bradenton, Florida, man, I would not wash my feet. Nope. No, I wouldn't wash my feet. I'm not making my toes attractive. I want my toes nasty. You won't even want to mess with my toes. No way. Hour 3 coming up here in the Swain event. Stay with us.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playground is where I spend most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making
There's no way. There's no way I'm washing my feet if there was a serial toe sucker running around Knoxville. There's no way.
You're not cutting your toenails?
Not cutting my toenails. I'm not wearing socks.
You're about to have a bloody mouth, buddy.
I'm not. No, I want my toes disgusting. Yeah, man. I want bunions and corn chips. I want all that on my toes. Yeah.
But
like, I want the intruder to walk in, break in, look at my feet, and go, no. Turn around and walk out.
But my thing is, if this alleged toe sucker is on drugs strong enough to the point to where he will break into somebody's house, find the bedroom, get down on the floor, and suck on toes, and that's his thought process, and then he gets away with it after being punched in the face, does he really care if your toes are nasty or not?
My toes will be so nasty that he immediately sobers up and goes to rehab.
Questions his life right then and there.
He's like, oh, I'm going to church right now. I'm going to church. I'm going to church and to rehab right now. I'm sober. That's how bad my toes will be. And I know, like, athletic trainers are laughing at the story because think about the ankles they have taped in their lives.
Ugh.
And the feet that they have witnessed and had to touch while they're wrapping ankles. Oh, man. All right, let's go back to the phones this morning. Who we got?
We have Turkey Man.
Turkey Man, good morning.
Well, I think it's overdid yourself there. Say you're going to church.
I didn't do anything, man. That's the story. The story outdid itself. I didn't do anything.
No, did you say you was going to go to church?
No, I said the gentleman, if he was on drugs and drunk or whatever, if he was breaking into my house to try to get my toes, I would make my toes so nasty that he would immediately sober up and go straight to church and rehab.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said.
I thought he'd be looking for a foot washing ceremony to go to. You said church. But anyhow, you got me all messed up. As long as you got Florida and you got Georgia and you got Kentucky, you're going to have for whats.
A limited amount of for whats.
It's unlimited.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Georgia down there. You got some guy in his basement, Ray something other, or Andrew Ray or something other.
Ray.
And even I'm telling you what, as far as listening, that is funny stuff. But the guy takes himself serious.
He thinks he's a Georgia insider, man. He really does.
You think he was mad to what's his face up in Georgia or Kentucky?
I think people that fans of college football teams that look at themselves as insiders on social media really need to rethink the direction they're going by looking at this Georgia fan, because this is what you are on your way to being. If you really want to do this, you really want to portray yourself as an insider. I don't know, man. That's another level right there.
He followed this kid for 5 years. This Zach kid.
Zach Evans.
For 5 years, I followed him. 5 years.
That's a good last name, right, Turkey Man?
Yeah.
Are you ashamed of him?
Yeah. Yeah. Lord have mercy. I tell you what, I was going to come in here and ask a really, really intelligent question, and right for what? Put me off the tracks a little bit.
I'm sorry, Turkey
But
Man.
could you guys explain to me, because I don't keep up with pro game that much, especially the fishing. What is the deal about the penalties and the time clock, and how did the Titans use that to their benefit to win the game?
Oh yeah. Vrabel used one of Bill Belichick's moves. So
That's what I thought.
Yeah, when you're
I'm gonna get off here and listen to you
Yeah.
guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. So when you're bleeding the clock, you can't take consecutive delay of games. You can't. So what the Titans did, lining up to punt, they had a intentional false start. Did you see the false start, Ben?
Oh yeah.
Oh, boy, start dancing.
It was Wesley Woodyard.
that was great. Kind of did the worm a little bit.
Yeah.
And so you had to delay a game because you wanted enough room to be able to pin the Patriots when you were punting from like the 40-yard line. So you take a delay a game, give yourself 5 more yards to pin the opponent. And so instead of taking the second delay game and getting a penalty, they had a intentional false start. And Bill Belichick was hot on the opposite sideline. So they gave themselves 10 more yards, and then they pinned the Patriots. Tom Brady throws a pick 6. It was great.
I think Mike Vrabel came out and like denied it too. Like, no, that was a legitimate false start.
Well, yeah. I've never seen a false start where the offense player is dancing. I haven't seen that one, man. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen the story about guy breaking in and sucking toes either. So 2020 is off to a great start. 865-250-503 B Dry Waterproofing Hotline. We have 50 minutes left in the show, and I don't know how we're going to do it. I know how we're going to do the next segment, though. We're going to do it with Austin Price, VolQuest.com, who's going to join us.
Thank goodness Austin is going to save us. Not join us, save us.
He's going to save us, man.
We'll have to ask him if anybody's ever broken into his house and sucked on
I'm
his
not
toes.
asking him that.
Why not?
Not on air. I'll let you ask him that.
No.
I'm not asking him that because I don't want to know. I'm afraid of the answer. I do not want to know.
He did spend a lot of time in Florida last week.
He did, man. He likes Florida. He loves Florida. He likes going down there and going to Disney World and going to play golf. Whew. Al from PA says, if LSU's basketball coach still allowed to be coaching after what all he did and the university come out unscathed, I sure as heck wouldn't let Sankey tell me who I could bring in as a coach. That's a good point. I mean, I'm with you, Al. I'm with you. Sankey is the boss, though. And you do know Coach Fulmer and Pruitt did not agree with Juwan Jennings sitting out for the first half. But what happened? Juwan Jennings sit out for the first half. That's what happened. So, Sankey is on your side. He's going to promote the SEC. lift the SEC in any way. So Greg Sankey in the NCAA, those are two different things. Greg Sankey is more on our side. NCAA, I don't know about that. Let's get to Vol Nation. There we go. Vol Nation can save us. Vol Nation, good morning.
Morning, family. How y'all doing, man?
We're good, man.
Hey, man. Sitting back enjoying the show, and, now that the season's over, you kind of take a step back, take a deep breath, and, you're trying to enjoy some basketball, and, you're seeing our Vol struggle a little bit, but, not having a consistent inside presence and having to depend on the outside, and, of course, having some injuries, and it's just a rough year, so you're just kind of trying to hold serve until next season when you get a lot of help coming in. I think next year is going to be pretty special with these young kids coming in and the skill sets and the type of player they're bringing in. Just like Jeremy Pruitt's bringing in some guys, coaches bringing in some guys. So just be encouraged. Just kind of hold on.
That's it.
Listening to the show, like I said, I'm excited about my Titans. Derrick Henry, I think we're going to come in this week and we can shut down Lamar Jackson because he's running some RPOs and he's doing some big things out there. But we can make them one-dimensional. We can do just like we did in Foxborough and keep it moving and get ready to try to get to the Super Bowl, man. I just got this inclination in my spirit, like, if we can win this week, the Titans, they're a scary product to have to deal with week in and week out. So this is going to be a key victory coming up, of course, but I think we can do it. I think we're going to shock some people.
It would be the most impressive run to the Super Bowl in some time if the Titans were to be able to do that, to knock off Tom Brady and that dynasty and then go on the road to play the number one seed, the Ravens, and then you would probably have to play what the Chiefs looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be tough, but I'm with you. I think they can do it. Will they? I don't know, but I think they can. They have the remedy. They have the recipe. Great rushing attack, defense. I think they could do it.
Yeah, I think Tannehill's playing out of his mind right now, but they've simplified things. If you line up in a bare front or you line up, and you got 8 in the box, they're going to throw it. And he's been accurate, and they can do play action all day long because you have to honor the run. And then, when you drop off and, you're covering everybody in the secondary, they can line up and play, smash mouth football, and he's getting 5, 6, 7, 8 yards a pop. I mean, that really, takes the defense, and their mentality of like, man, what can we do to stop these guys? And you just wear them out. So they're doing that. But I wanted to give you guys, before I get off the air, a way, get y'all excited now, a way too early 2020 season prediction. All right?
Vol Nation. That's early. Go ahead.
It's really early, man. I've been thinking about this, man. I'm getting excited. I'm trying to hold my excitement down. But man, I'm looking at next year we got Charlotte week 1, we got OU week 2, then we got Furman, Florida, Missouri, USC, Arkansas, Kentucky, Georgia, Troy, and Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt
with your pinky up. So looking at that schedule, man, I am predicting right now there's only 3 games on that schedule that are questionable. That's OU, Georgia, and Florida to me. I don't care about everybody else. We will minimally should go 9-3.
Okay. All right.
Possibly 10-2. That's my prediction.
All right.
9-3, 10-2, way too early. And now check this out. I look at this, and like I said, looking at the offensive line, if Trey Smith comes back, that offensive line is going to be just an absolute beast. But we got JG returning, and depending on how consistent how he plays in off season and whether he can come in and maintain his spot, you got experience there. If not, of course you got Myra coming back. But we've been talking for about a year and a half about Harrison Bailey. He's on campus right now. That means he's going to be in the off-season workout program.
Yeah.
And he won't look like a freshman come August.
No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't.
So he's going to be in the playbook. So you got him. Jimmy Holiday is also on campus.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to look like a freshman, so I'm sure he's going to have some packages. The boy can run 4.2. He can still throw. It's going to be exciting. You got T. Hodge, you got Gray, you got Ty in the backfield. And then, you look at your DBs coming back. You got Taylor, you got Bryce, you got Flowers and McCullough in the secondary. You got Keyshawn Lawrence and Slaughter that you can throw in there. Linebackers, you got Henry To'oTo'o. You got Crouch. You got French in the Memphis 3 with Easton and McDonald. Solomon coming back, Middleton, Bennett, Johnson, that defensive line. We're not even talking about Simmons. We're not talking about Omero Thomas. We're not talking about Bailey. You got a lot of guys, Tyler Barron coming. You got a lot of guys that he can put on the field. And so I'm looking at the wide receiver core, D'Angelo Gibbs.
I'm not letting you do this, Vol Nation. I'm not letting you do this to me this morning.
I'm telling you, man. I'm looking at it.
I ain't letting you
Josh
do this
Palmer,
to me.
Cedric Tillman, Austin Pope will be back. Who else he gets in the coming up in these 3 or 4 slots? Or if we gray or a blue shirt, a couple of people, you might have a couple extra slots. I'm excited, and then not even talking about Jimmy Callaway and Jalen Hyatt. I hadn't put them in the mix yet. You got a lot of speed, you got a lot of depth, you got a mixture of youth and experience in there. This would be his 3rd recruiting class, or 2.5, 2.5 if you want to count that first year as a half year because he got here so late. You're starting to get not just quality players, not just creating depth. You're getting winners.
Vol Nation, we got to get to Austin Price. I'm not letting you do this to me. We haven't even completed one winter conditioning workout yet. I'm not letting you do this. Volstorm, Spencer, Memphis, we got to run through the calls. We got to get to Austin Price. Volstorm, good morning.
Vol Nation calling here to talk about when it comes to Tennessee basketball. You just stay down South Carolina with your blue hoodie, buddy.
Oh, man.
Guys, real quick, just some quick hits. Devontae, you say terms like that for hour 3, such as butthole naked.
Golly, man. I wasn't ready for
Pat, sir, you need to have a week-long ban from the show just so you get better.
Just get healthy.
And when it comes to the whole thing about sucking on toes, isn't it coincidental that it happened around the same time Pat got sick? See you, bye!
Oh, man. Let's get to Spencer right quick. Spencer dropped. All right, let's take a break and come back with Austin Price. That is good PR work there. That's good work there, Volstorm. I mean, I can see Volstorm in the episode of SVU, Law and Order. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Volstorm. Man, I ain't thinking about that, man. Volstorm might be the next Horatio Kane. That's good stuff. We got to give Volstorm some shades. He's the next Horatio Kane. All right, hour 3 continues after this.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
Do you want a custom-themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Then look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. All of their bottles and tumblers are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the tumbler market. New this year are their stemless 12-ounce tumblers, perfect for repping your team while enjoying your favorite wine. They also have new 3-in-1 jackets to use as a koozie for a can or bottle, or you can pop a lid on it and use it as a 12-ounce tumbler or coffee cup. Be sure to check out everything Game Time Sidekicks has to offer at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Game Time Sidekicks, helping fans show your colors and carry your team with unique gear you will actually use. We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1-year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. And we will get to Austin Price here shortly. So you get me instead of Austin with the Stone Cold intro music. Yeah, how about that? Volstorm with the call of the day.
I would say it was the call of the decade so far.
I think that's fair. I think that's an easy first place spot right now. Right, it's early though. It's real early, Ben.
Real early.
Only 7 days into the decade, but I think I'm gonna give Volstorm the nod. He was the best thing about Vol Nation's phone call. I'm goofy. I pick up stuff. I pick up on stuff like this. Vol Nation, you ain't slick. You ain't give me hype. I'm not getting hype. It ain't gonna work with me. I'm still recovering from the Indiana game. You are not going to have me sitting here talking about some 9-3, 10-2 before Tennessee completes their first winter conditioning workout. I'm not going to do it. Let me at least get the spring before we start talking about that. I'm not going to do it. You can do it. I'm not going to do it. Did y'all notice when Vol Nation was running through those names of folks returning, how quick he said Jerry Garantano?
We've got Brian Maurer, JT Shrout, Ty Chandler, Jerry Garantano, Tim Jordan, Eric Gray.
Vol Nation sounded like Twister when he said JG's name. Yeah, this person, JG, and this person. Whoa, did you say JG? Just joking. Just joking.
Are you going to answer his question?
What's his question?
You know his question.
I cut him off, man. I couldn't do it. Yeah, I ain't letting him hype me up.
Your way too early prediction for the season.
I don't have one. I told you I'm not doing it. I don't have a way too early prediction.
What is your expectation?
I don't have one right now. I don't know if Trey Smith's coming back. I don't know how the quarterbacks are going to look during the spring, during the fall. I don't know, man.
You don't know what coaches are leaving, what coaches are going to be hired.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what
Jay Graham. Is it going to be Montario Hardesty?
I don't know what grad transfer we're going to get or transfer, if he's going to be able to play. I hope we get a transfer so if All-Star can call in and go, what about John Doe? Is John Doe going to be ready to play? Have you heard anything about John Doe? Huh? Nothing?
Okay.
I wish we get a transfer just to hear Volstorm, but
you don't know what players are going to get arrested and suspended during the offseason?
No, we're not going to get players suspended. I didn't say when I get them arrested. That might happen, but they're not going to get suspended. Come on now. We're trying to win championship around here. We don't suspend good players.
If that's the case, then we have really become Alabama East.
Hey, man,
Northeast.
We're trying to win. We don't have time to be suspending good players now.
You don't know what players are going to transfer off of Tennessee's roster? I think we should designate a day before the season starts that we give our official prediction / expectation.
Fall, man.
What day is the first day? September 2nd? Let's do it September 1st.
Actually, probably around July.
I say middle of training camp. Middle of fall camp.
I think July. I think July is a good. I think July is a good month to do that, man. I cannot do that right now. I just can't. I can't do it. Oh man, we got Austin on. Oh, there we go. I mean, we've only had to play the song 7 times. Just kidding. Just 2. But it's worth it. Austin Price joined us. VolQuest.com. Good morning, man. How you doing?
Oh, Jason Swain. You know,
That's
first day back to school for Knox County.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good day, Jason Swain.
Aren't you excited about the first day back?
I love my kids, but they need to go back to school and get back in that learning structure is all I can say.
Boy, you ain't never lied. Man, I couldn't wait for this morning. Get your butt to school. Get out of here.
Go get.
Man, running up the KUB bill at the house, leaving all the lights on. I mean, my goodness. Got me doing double the dishes. You just had this cup. Why are you getting a new cup? Here, take this red cup. I'm putting your name on it. Don't get no more cups.
The best is when I give my 4-year-old she loves to eat like hamburger. But she likes to eat it like without a bun. So like like a hamburger steak.
Yeah.
So we went up to Rogersville yesterday and took my grandmother out to eat. And she's like, this she calls it steak. She's like, this steak's got no meat in it. No meat. There's no meat in hamburger, apparently.
Yeah. Thank you, Knox County. Thank you. And I tell you what, you better not snow. And people walking around with the flu and stomach bug, you better shake it off. Don't call off school. Keep their butt in school. Don't let them come home using up 78 cups. I gotta do dishes 3 times in a day. I'm putting your name on the cup. That's your cup for the week. For the week. Running up my KUB bill.
You some solo cups.
That's what I'm saying, man. Red solo cups. Put your name on it for the week. For the week. All right, AP. What's going on with the?
Let's get after it.
What's going on with the running back situation, running back coach situation? David Johnson, decided to go ahead and leave. Where does Tennessee look first?
Well, first and foremost, I don't think Jeremy Pruitt's in any kind of rush. I think he's going to take his time, much like he did a year ago with the Jim Chaney hire. And I do not think this thing's going to drag on for 6 weeks, but I don't think it's going to come to an abrupt end 4 days. I think he's going to take his time. I think Jay Graham will be someplace that that they look. I think he'll talk to Jay. There's a previous relationship there. They worked at Florida State together, and then of course there's a previous relationship with Jim Chaney and Jay Graham, having worked on the same Tennessee staff under Derek Dooley in 2012. Of course, Derek Ansley was on that staff as well, so there's some familiarity there with him. A guy like Montario Hardesty, I think that somebody that Tennessee will take a look at based off the fact that Jeremy has a lot of respect for how Montario grinded in his 1 year here as a GA back a couple of years ago, and elsewhere, I mean, guys like Des Kitchings at NC State. I don't think they'll promote Joe Ossovet, but I wouldn't totally just rule that out. But I think that more than anything, Jeremy probably anticipates that there's going to be multiple people on his staff end up elsewhere. So I don't think there's a rush there because, who's to say that they won't, move a guy around? You could move Brian Niedermeyer to running backs. How many times has Jeremy said, Jeremy has said multiple times in media gatherings during his, 2+ years here that Brian Niedermeyer could coach on either side of the ball. So, who's to say that, that they don't just shift things around, and that's how, you kind of come to your full staff again. I'm just saying, I think there's options for Jeremy, and I think he's in no rush.
Yeah, we mentioned a little bit of this earlier in the show. We used the Jim Chaney example, but we also use how quick the move was in replacing Terry Fair with Derek Ansley. So I think there's more evidence point to waiting because you already have your recruiting class pretty much taken care of. So there really is no rush at all for this. And I think the two guys that you mentioned first, Jay Graham and Montario Hardesty, they're not doing anything. It's not like you have to kind of fight with other schools to get them. So yeah, take your time.
If this was
I agree. I agree, Austin. I agree with everything that you just said after urgency. Because that was the last thing you said before the phone cut out. So, how about you call him back? How about you call Austin Price back? Let's try that again. Is he gonna blame that on the kids too? Because we can compare, man. It's really easy to blame things on the kids. Yeah, sorry, I ain't gonna be able to come to the party. My kids, they sick. Hey, Austin, was that the kids' fault too?
No, that was mine. Both are mine.
I'm kids, man. I'm kidding. As parents, we like blaming stuff on the kids, so I just wonder.
Oh no, the kids were why I'm just this morning's been kind of a thrill a minute for me. So
I get it.
They were not the reason I didn't answer the phone to begin with.
No, I understand.
So anyway, with Jay Hardy, Kevin Scherr is the lead guy there. Derek Ansley's number 2. Kind of in that recruitment, and then of course I think that Tracy Rocker would be number 3 if I was kind of going like an order of importance in the recruitment of Jay Hardy. D. Beckwith, the lead recruiter, is Will Friend.
Okay.
Elsewhere, Jakari Caldwell, that's a T. Martin guy. So I don't think you have to rush any because it's not like who you would hire at running backs is going to have any effect on any of these remaining guys that are left on the board. So I think that it helps having the early signing period and taking your time for this. So that's why I think that you hit the nail on the head. There's no rush based off the fact that it's not like you have to have this person in there to help recruit. But small amounts in the month of January, you're going to go see a bunch of 2021. You go see Trevion Henderson, the big-time running back out of Hopewell, Virginia, Darrell Taylor's high school. You got to be able to have some semblance of a plan and who you think you're going to hire. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, I do think it's important to come to a resolution at some point in the next few weeks, but I don't think it has to be done this weekend.
There have been other rumors swirling. Derek Ansley to Alabama. Tracy Rocker may be retiring. T. Martin, Ole Miss. Have you heard anything along those lines?
Well, the Derrick Ansley stuff, started to circulate from Alabama media the day after Tennessee beat Indiana. And, Nick's never happy, especially when he doesn't end the season with a trophy. And, he got rid of his DCs last year and promoted, got rid of Tosh, promoted Pete Golding, even though Golding really called the defense 2 years ago, after Jeremy left. And Tosh was just the DC and title. But now it appears that he's not real happy with Pete. They got battered and beat by, injury on the defensive side of the ball. I don't really think that's, anybody's fault. No matter who the defensive coordinator had been there this year, they would struggle just because they were inexperienced, young, and most of their studs were out due to injury. So that would make sense that he would call DA if he has an opening. Tracy Rocker, we'll see. He's obviously on an expiring contract, and anybody that's on an expiring contract, you have to wonder if they will be back. Like Chris Winky's on an expiring contract, but I think Winky will have the chance to come back on the staff. Elsewhere, T. Martin, he's a guy that's going to field phone calls. Derrick Ansley, Brian Niedermeyer, those type of guys are sharp guys that are really good coaches that can recruit. They're very charismatic with their personality. Every year, no matter where they are, they're going to field phone calls from other schools. When he was at USC, he fielded phone calls from other schools. When DA was at Alabama, he fielded phone calls from other schools, or when he was in the NFL with the Raiders, he got the phone call from Jeremy to come back to college. So, if that's going to happen. And so, who's to say, if Sarkisian got a job, say, Sarkisian privately worked things within the mix of Mississippi State right now. You don't think he would call T first thing if he got that job? Of course he would. So, I think, that's one of the things that you're going to have to battle year in, year out when you have other schools will try to poach him.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Zach Evans, the number one running back in the country, signed with Georgia, not going to Georgia. I know this is not, Tennessee related, but he did take a visit to Tennessee long time ago. There is a possibility that, Texas A&M may get in with him, and who's recruiting him probably. That's Jay Graham. Big if Tennessee is able to bring on Jay Graham, you think Zach Evans will be an option?
I don't think so. I think he's likely headed for Texas A&M. Obviously, things went south with him and something happened in Georgia. Zach's the guy that's kind of had a lot of drama around his recruitment, and he's been a lot of places, been leaning a lot of places, leaning to LSU, leaning to Georgia, leaning to A&M. He's been rumored for several schools, so I think he likely ends up at Texas A&M regardless of who the running backs coach is at A&M.
Austin Price here on the Swain event, AustinPriceVolQuest.com. Jeremy Pruitt was in Jackson, Tennessee, and recruiting is pretty much over for this class. I don't think we have any ballers in Jackson, Tennessee. Oh, except for one that's already on our team. That's Trey Smith.
The biggest recruit left on the board.
Exactly, the 6-star for Tennessee. I'm pretty sure they're talking about the NFL draft. Anything there with Trey Smith that you can share with us?
Well, I had this. I put this in our Monday night chat last night at VolQuest. I thought based off the way he interacted with personnel, whether it be staffers or managers or the things he said post game, Trey Smith sure looked like he was riding off into the sunset with the cowboy hat on after the win against Indiana. But the more people I've talked to the last couple of days, I do feel like there's a real possibility that Trey Smith comes back for his final year at Tennessee. I think that, obviously the biggest question surrounding Trey is going to be, the blood clots. And, I've wondered myself, how much can his stock rise if he comes back? The NFL is very particular about medical issues. If he comes back and he plays clean for a second consecutive year and has this regimen, does that mean he moves up on draft boards, or is he always kind of going to be in that middle round range just because of the question? And I can't answer that, but the more people I've talked to, the more the notion is out there that he can improve his stock by coming back. And everybody knows he's a first round talent. So ultimately, no matter what Trey does, everybody in Tennessee is going to be totally supportive of him. The fans are going to, be very, very happy for him if he goes to the NFL, and they'll be big Trey Smith fans, no matter where he plays, where he gets drafted. But if he comes back, he's got a chance to really kind of establish his legacy here. And no matter what he does, I know a lot of people, and I've had this conversation with a bunch of people. A lot of people are like, "Well, he's crazy to come back. He should go on and get to the NFL now." Because you never know, tomorrow's never promised as far as your playing career. If you want to play in the NFL, don't hesitate. But that's not my decision or anybody else's. That's only Trey's decision.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever Trey decides, you got to be happy for Trey, supportive of Trey. And, he's talked with his dad. He's talked with his sister. And obviously now he's talking to Coach Pruitt. And we'll see what he decides. But like I said, the more people I talk to, the more, the notion that he would be back has become more and more real than I thought it would be when we left Jacksonville.
Speaking of Jacksonville, Jarrett Garantano did not have a great performance, did not play well at all, got sat down in the third quarter for his series. Do you think his performance in the bowl game changed any plans for that position going forward, or is that a situation to where you think that Jeremy Pruitt and Jim Chaney is going to make one of the six guys, one of the six options, the plan going forward for next season?
Well, look at it. Jarrett's still the best quarterback on this current roster. I mean, I think you heard Jeremy post game. I am not going to do a Jeremy Pruitt pronunciation here, but in small words, Jarrett was not any good. And then Brian came in and was worse. Obviously, J.C. Stroud did not play. I don't think he's really an option for them. And so it sure feels like this is still Jarrett's quarterback room as of now. And again, it's a lot to put on. Everybody's going to anoint Harrison Bailey when he arrives on campus today. It's a lot to put on a freshman. Look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix was really good at certain times this year, and other times he wasn't because he's a freshman. So I think it's still Jarrett's quarterback room. I think Mauer's still got a long way to go, and I think that Harrison Bailey doesn't deserve the expectation that everybody's going to put on him. That's just too much weight. Let him come along, and if he goes out and wins the job, kudos to him. That means that he went out and got it. But don't just anoint him and put this unfair expectations on him. And that's hard to do because fans love the young quarterback. I mean, I remember when I was in college, I used to love. Hey, look, Swain. You think I wanted him to see roll out there and play C.J. Leak? I love the idea of James Banks when I was at UT, or a Brent Schaefer or Eric Ainge. I loved the young quarterback when I was that age. So I mean, I just think it's still Jarrett's room. I don't think Jarrett's going anywhere. Jarrett talked about that post game next year. He kept referencing. But obviously, Jarrett's got to be way better if Tennessee's going to make strides in 2020. I mean,
he has
way
to.
better.
He got to be way better, man. More consistent. If you stare at Harrison Bailey's photo, I mean, if you just stare at it, I mean, he kind of looks like Peyton Manning a little bit, Austin. I mean, just a little bit, man. Just a tad bit.
But if you get a profile of him, he's Tom Brady, and I mean, like, hey, listen, man, I think Harrison Bailey's a good player, a really good player. I mean, talented arm talent, really, gotten in way better shape his last couple of years, and become more of a. He's not a dual threat quarterback, but he can make a play with his legs if need be. Kid from Indiana was not a dual threat quarterback, but he was able to scramble around some and hurt Tennessee. That's what you want out of a quarterback. Is a guy, you don't have to be Lamar Jackson, developed into that kind of guy in the last year or so because he's gotten in much better shape and he's gotten faster. You know, and I think he's got a bright future. But like I said, it's just unfair. Look how much expectations we're putting on a guy like Jonathan Conbo. You know, I mean, let's face it. I mean, we had the infamous ice cream picture with the whole staff, Bob Shoup, and you know, everybody just thought he was going to come in here and be the next, you know, Derek Barnett, and that was not fair on him. It's just hard. I mean, like, it's even worse for quarterbacks.
No, it is, and that's what I was thinking when you said that. I was like, man, Jonathan Combo came in. He looked about 42 years old, and you know, he played JUCO ball. Physically, you thought you would see some, you know, more from him, but Harrison's coming in as a quarterback, and he's 18 years old. So this is what I hope. No one is saying that Jared played well or, you know, well enough this year to even, you know, be the guy next year, but he needs to be more consistent. There's no doubt about that. The best thing I think for Tennessee is for Brian Maurer to improve, mature, understand what it means being a quarterback at the University of Tennessee, and Harrison Bailey. And he's done that already, sacrificing the U.S. All-American game. He chose not to play, could have played, but he chose not to play and get himself in a position to compete at a high level during spring and get here, work out, train. I remember when Jake Fromm hit Georgia, and he immediately was vocal, was challenging guys, and that's some signs that Georgia saw that he can come in and be a leader and get that respect. And so Harrison Bailey has the opportunity to do that. But again, like you mentioned, I agree, because it happens with Khalil McKenzie, it happened with Jonathan Combo, it happens with every 5-star or highly rated player. We put these lofty expectations on them, and sometimes it's not always fair. So I'm with you, man. I'm with you with that 100%. All right, Austin. What's going on there at VolQuest this week?
Well, we've got the continued recruiting coverage. Rob's got you covered on the basketball side of things, and we'll have our Tuesday podcast coming up here in about an hour and a half on VolQuest.com.
What y'all talking about, man? Huh? What y'all
talking about? Basically everything you and I just.
Oh, but more in detail, you gonna save all the good stuff for your podcast, huh? You're not gonna share the good stuff on our show, huh? Is that what you're doing? Little sandbagging?
That's not true. I gave you all kinds of good stuff.
You gonna sandbag that thing, man? Is that what you gonna do? You gonna give all the good nuggets to the subscribers and just give us some leftovers here on the Swain event?
No, I gave you all the good stuff, Swain.
It's all good, man. I'm kidding. Enjoy your kidless morning, because all the kids are in school. So enjoy the morning, my friend.
Will do, my man.
Appreciate you. And Austin Price, VolQuest.com, here on the Swain event. The VolQuest podcast going up there on VolQuest.com here shortly. So make sure, guys, you check out VolQuest.com. Austin Price, always bringing the nuggets, the good stuff here to the Swain event. Really appreciate him. Today is a really important day for parents in Knox County. This is a special day for us. Very special day for us. Thank you. We appreciate the thoughts and prayers.
What about for the fur parents?
The who parents? Fur parents?
Yes, the people who have fur babies.
Dogs and cats and whatever other animals y'all country folks got in y'all backyard.
Weasels and gerbils and
donkeys and goats. Ain't nothing changed for y'all.
I'm aware.
Y'all still picking up poop and doing that stuff. I mean, ain't nothing really changed.
I have one energetic 13-month-old puppy waiting for me at the house.
You gotta take him outside and run him. That's the only hope you got, my friend. 865-250-503. Austin Price's Time is brought to you by Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. 865-257-7897. It's her telephone number if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. She works with Keller Williams Realty. You better call Jennifer Morris. New year, you want a new house, you want a new look. Jennifer Morris, 865-257-7897. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center.
Big thanks to Austin Price of AllQuest.com joining the program. That's a tough ask, though. We're supposed to be excited about the recruits, but not too excited. Which one do you want? Do you want us to be excited or not?
Well, I think you can be excited, but not place ridiculous expectations on a
I understand that. I'll just put myself in the shoes of, the common fan. You want us excited, but not too excited. This is the Three Little Bears. Porch too hot, up too cold. Oh, this is just right. I mean, you want us excited or not?
What is your expectation for Harrison Bailey? As I realize that he has yet to go through a class at UT, a workout, a spring practice, a summer workout, a 7-on-7 with his teammates by when it's just the players in the indoor training facility. Yet to go through a fall practice, but just your early expectation for Harrison Bailey as he steps foot on campus for his freshman season.
Sorry, I had to burp.
It's all good.
I expect him to push JG. I expect him to pass up Brown Maurer. That's what I expect.
That's my expectation as well.
The reason why is because he's been groomed for years on being a college quarterback. Years. Tony Ballard. Years. He's been groomed. Jim Chaney is his coach. He's coming in without any terrible habits. Jarrett had to go through Butch Jones, had to go through multiple OCs. Harrison is going to get one. Coming in, clean slate. And he's here already. So I expect him to conduct himself like a college quarterback because he's been groomed to be one for years. So, yeah, that's what I expect. Do I expect him to start day one? No, but I expect him to push number 2, and I expect him to pass up Brian Maurer at some point.
Yeah, that's mine as well. I think, and I've said this before, in an ideal world, Jarrett Garantano takes that next step. He needs to be more consistent.
I hope so.
Vol Nation asked that absurd question earlier in the hour. My way too early expectation, I don't have a pinpoint one, but because I don't trust Jarrett Garantano, I don't trust the quarterback position right now, 8-4, 9-3.
Why are you doing this right now? Why?
Because that's my early expectation. Things can change, but it's somewhere in that ballpark. I expect them to have a better regular season than this year, but I also don't think that they're
schedule's harder.
SEC East ready.
Schedule's harder.
How so? Just with, I guess I'm thinking of conference schedule.
And you dropping BYU, picking up Oklahoma.
Well, yeah, and that non-conference gets harder, but your conference schedule gets easier, in my opinion. You get Florida at home, Alabama at home.
Does it matter if you're playing them at home or away?
It might. What if Tennessee does take a humongous step forward?
Look at the last 6 years that Tennessee's played Alabama. When have we had a better chance of beating them, at home or away? I'll answer for you. We ain't got time for you to be thinking.
Away.
Now, we beat Florida at home, but had every opportunity 2 times to beat Florida on the road.
Would you rather play Alabama at home or away?
Dude, I don't really care.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't, man.
If you could pick where that game was played, you would pick Neyland Stadium.
I really don't care because a part of me throws up in my mouth when I see Neyland Stadium full of Bammers.
Yeah, but hopefully this year won't be like that.
And the pressure is off, number 2, when he plays on the road. He plays better on the road.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
So I honestly don't care.
But
about that game.
My overall point was that I don't trust the quarterback position. I don't trust Jarrett Garantano right now. My overall point in mentioning my way too early expectation was I like where Vol Nation's head is at with the 10-2 thing.
Stop.
But I don't trust Jarrett Garantano to get there. I just don't. I think he's people will disagree, but I think he's capable of helping Tennessee get there if he can play turnover-free football and take the next step, which I have faith in Jim Chaney, but I don't trust the quarterback position right now. So I hope that Harrison Bailey can come in and push JG, and I hope that until the season opener, it's a competition at quarterback. Because last summer it was Jarrett Garantano. I hope the coaches aren't saying that again this year because I don't think Jarrett Garantano needs to know he's the starting quarterback going into next year.
No, he needs to be on his toes.
Yes.
The schedule's a tad bit harder. We just look at it, it's a tad bit harder. Now, boy, you got an easy game against Arkansas, boy. But it's at Arkansas. You just never know. But they're terrible. And I would love to beat them down because of how they've handled recruiting Knoxville kids. But I think the schedule's a little bit tougher. Oklahoma picking those guys up on the road. Charlotte got a lot of momentum in their program. What? Charlotte does have some momentum in their program.
It does not matter.
Hey.
There will not be a repeat of Georgia State, I can assure you.
Just saying, man. Just saying. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Hope you have a great day. Peace and love. We are out. Swain Events, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Have a great day.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers?